where are recruiters looking these days for the talent that is needed and the fit that is required for the organization to succeed? Is it the usual places like LinkedIn? Are there unusual places in 2022 where an executive should invest more time and creativity to be noticed? What's your sense of that, Joel?
Well, LinkedIn is a wonderful tool, but a lot of top leaders are not on it. Okay. I wasn't sure we should be on it. I mean, yeah, we put our own page up, and I don't know, maybe we have 200 followers, maybe. I mean, it's just not valuable to us per se. Sometimes where we use it is if someone mentions somebody to us and we want to get a quick fix of who they are. So you can look up a profile. But we don't use that necessarily in our search process. We go to trusted sources, people who would know the subject, people we know that are change masters, who understand culture and deliver value. Okay? That's what we look for. And usually because of that, a lot of that comes from years of doing this and reputation and access. Okay? It's all done confidentially, so they know that whatever they tell us isn't going to be little bird on the pole speaking to everybody else. And that's helped us get to the right candidates. I'll tell you what I think individuals can do to kind of move their process along. Two things. We've seen the way resumes have been presented and changed. They are very, very difficult to follow. And I have to say, we don't spend much time on resumes. So, you look at them, you get a summary of the individual, and you understand kind of their progression, what they've learned, where they've learned it, and what they're really kind of prepared for or interested in. Okay, that's it. That happens in a minute to a minute and a half, to be honest.
Well, I was prepared to hear seconds. If you're spending a minute, I think you're an exception.
Well, sometimes you got to go back through it a few times. And the reason you have to go back through it is because the way people are laying out these resumes in colors, blue and white and blocks, I can't follow it. I'm just a simple guy trying to do a job. Okay. So I would say make the resume clear. Okay. Also, in preparing for this, people think about relationships and they call it networking. It isn't. It's, I'd say, the smartest move right now for folks, because of the way the atmosphere is moving, the changes that's afoot, and it's only going to accelerate, is to lay out your most influential people around your career. Okay, maybe you've met them in working at not-for-profits, on their boards, maybe you've met them in church, the synagogue, the mosque, wherever you've met them. Okay, and begin to cultivate their ideas. Say, tell me how. It's not a question of asking for their advice. It's a question of what their journey was about. And that opens the door to ask for advice and ask for relationships, or networking, or whatever one wants to call it. That's much more effective. We know today that over 3/4 of the roles are filled, even at the very top, by people they know or know of. It's the same inside a boardroom. Is not filled by answering a LinkedIn ad or whatever, unless you're at a level where that's more common. At the levels that we work, it's uncommon. So I think if you do that and you continually cultivate those people who are in your most influential, and you find out who may not be in your influential by talking with them, then you begin to substitute people in and out. And that's the people that you want to have almost as your career board of directors, more or less, where you can seek their advice, understand and of course you're giving something back to them, because they're going to call you. It's not a one-way street. I can't tell you how many people, I wish I had a tally, but I don't. How many people said, yeah, I sought a lot of people's help and I took this last role and, I'm ready to move on. And I'll ask them, have you kept up with those people? And well, I was too busy. Why do you expect them now, when you call them, to say, yeah, come right over, let's have a chat? They're not going to do it. Okay? They're not going to do it unless they think there's something in it for them, because they've been taken advantage of. So don't take advantage of anybody. Use it as an opportunity, because everyone in your network, everyone is in the same situation. They're in play all the time. We have no problem in picking up the phone and talking to people who are well ensconced in their jobs and maybe even be happy. They're willing to listen. and maybe intrigued by something else. But you got to be in that network. You got to play in that game. And if you think you can go get a job and I'll be happy there forever, no,